trying to remove every obstacle that could be in his way. So the question is this: you here thinking that the next election, we wait for the next election. Unfortunately, these people are already thinking of 2021. There are already talks and permutations in respect to who succeed the president, or perhaps who would stand a chance to run against the president in 2027. There is the talk of the coalition. There's also the talk of some political parties forming a merger, like we saw prior to the 2015 election, when I think on the 13th of February 2013. Yes, I think 2013 or thereabout, the All Progressive Congress was formed, registered. And one of the signatories to that, event was the man that has constantly in the last maybe 6 months challenged the leadership of his party, maybe now his former party, the All Progressive Congress. Talking about the lack of internal democracy within the APC, talking about the fact that the party has not held any caucus meeting in the last 2 years. They've not had any NEC meeting in the last 2 years, saying that the ideology that led to the formation of the party has been abandoned, and that is why he's leaving the All Progressive Congress. But a lot of people have also asked, what if Malam Nasir El-Rufai got a ministerial, slots on the cabinet of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? And Malam Nasir El-Rufai has also been talking tough. Earlier today, still gave an interview, saying that he knows of some ministers that paid to get ministerial slots on these cabinets. Those are weighty allegations. He's also, been in that space, talking about the fact that he's going to support a southern candidate. And now that he's moved to the SDP, the next couple of weeks, months, maybe, would eventually, tell us or give us an idea of what 2027 election would be like. Well, the politics is getting thicker by the day. The politics, like my friend Dr. Dayo would always say. So you can always trust us on Mainland 98.3 FM to give you everything you need to know. And it's not just on the Situation Room, beginning from Sunday 6 to 8 p.m. on Political Roundtable, to the Situation Room Monday to Friday 4 to 5:30, to Midweek Politics Wednesday 1 to 3 p.m., to Voices from the Top Friday 7 to 8 p.m. And everything, every space or channel that would always create on this platform is to keep you informed, engaged, and more importantly, help you and guide you into making informed decisions when it comes to our electoral, our commitments. You understand that it's a civic responsibility that you're obliged to always, obligated rather to always obliged. You don't have a choice. Well, people can choose not to vote, but I've always said it. If you decide not to vote a candidate in an election, nothing stops you from voting. You have your PVC, you're within, your voting area, but you decide not to vote. On that day, you decide to, play football on the street or spend time in the house. You didn't go out. I can't stay in the sun. I can't stay in the heat. The question is this: do you have the rights to question a government that you didn't vote for? Build up to the 2023 election, INEC told us that we have almost 100 million registered voters, over 10 million newly registered voters. But what is the percentage of the people that came out to vote? We have a president that had less than 9 million votes. That is less than 10% of the entire voting population. So the question is this: if we come to make our electoral decisions based on this, whatever it is that forms that decision, it could be tribal, it could be political. By virtue of political association, this is the candidate of my party. I don't care if he's competent, I don't care if he's capable, I don't care if he can deliver, but because that is the candidate of my party. It's on a religious basis. Me and his son, we pray in the same mosque. He's a deacon in my church. So you decide to vote on that basis, not necessarily because you think the person can deliver, or even the worst of it all, which is tribal consideration. I'm Yoruba, he's Yoruba. I'm Niger Delta, he's also Niger Delta, and that is the reason why I'm voting for him. I think it's always really important that at some point in our lives as Nigerians, as patriotic Nigerians, we need to understand that we have to make political decisions. So when they say elections got consequences, this is what it means. So when we are making those decisions, what influences our choices? Is it based on those three archaic reasons or sentiment that I gave, religious, tribal, or your party preference? I know a lot of people that vote on election days that don't exactly vote for the candidate of their party based on sheer convictions, because they feel like, oh, if it's my party, I don't trust the candidate of my party. So it's always going to be very important that as we constantly engage ourselves in social conversation, we should also put political conversations into it. The divide and rule pattern of the politicians are eating deep into the fabrics of this country. So people lose loyalty, they lose patriotism, they lose friendship and respect because it becomes an issue of your candidate versus my candidate, your party versus my party. And at the end of the day, we make do with a situation where the worst of us are ruling the best of us. My name is Sᴘᴏʀᴛ Cʀᴜɪsᴇ. In case you're joining this show for the first time, Mr. Miwadi joins me virtually today. The last 2 weekends, last 2 Thursdays, he was live in the studio with us. So I just told him, you know what, let's go virtual today. And before we get into the conversation also, I want to beg of you, please, make sure you keep yourself as hydrated as possible. I beg of you, so that you don't find yourself in a hospital and then you spend so much money on what drinking enough water could help you avoid. The weather is extremely hot, and then so you can't afford to move around without getting properly, hydrated. Dehydration is something that it will shock you when you get to the hospital and they tell you that, oh, you have kidney stones, you have kidney infections because there's not enough water to push your urine and all of that. So I beg you, as you're moving around with your hustle, even if you can't afford to buy bottled water, please, you can afford to buy sachet. Just buy that one. And it's crazy enough. You can even buy it and keep it in your car. Keep it in your office. Just make it handy. You don't have to wait till you are thirsty before you drink water. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to send a message so that we would know that the cost of medications right now is outrageous, almost unaffordable. So keep yourself healthy, keep yourself safe, and keep yourself absolutely hydrated. Thank you very much. Mr. Miwadi is here on the show today. We look at maybe we'll slide a little bit into the Senator Natasha Akpoti conversation, but we'll focus more on the development in Rivers State. Boy, oh boy. The immediate past governor of Rivers State and the FCT minister, Barrister Nyesom gave an interview. So he had a media, pally yesterday, and he said a whole lot. I had a lot of takeaway from that. But I think the biggest one had to be where he said, hey, there's nothing like peace. There's no way peace will come if you don't do the right thing. He said peace is doing the right thing. He said no matter how tough you can be, you can never be bigger than whatever it is that the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, has given as judgment. Remember, on the 28th of February, there was a judgment from the Supreme Court that mandated the Rivers State government, led by His Excellency Governor Sim Fubara, to acknowledge the faction of the leaders of the House of Assembly, led by his Right Honorable Martin Amoewele. Now he is the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. And what that means is all laws made, all appointments made will have to be reversed. All the directors of agencies, all the commissioners that are already functioning would have to be represented to the floor of the House for screening. Because in the assembly that's got 31 members, only 4 have been carrying out legislative responsibilities, including, debating and approving the 2025 budget. Remember, on the 2nd of January, the governor of the state, Governor Fubara, passed into law 1.2 trillion appropriation bill into budget for 2025. But the Supreme Court judgment and the interpretation says, Mr. Governor, you would have to represent it into the floor, on the floor of the House, and that has led to a lot of issue. The governor reported at the temporary House of Assembly, building, and it was locked. The governor said he was coming in to represent the budget, but it was locked out. Well, we saw the letters, and very latest today. Now I was just going through some of these provisions, and I found out that if a letter is supposed to go to the president, the senators can't sign it. It has to be signed by the president of the Senate. So if the president is sending a letter to the Senate, the letter cannot be signed by the SSG. The letter would have to be signed by Mr. President. So if the governor is sending a letter, whether to invite you for a meeting or to notify you that he's appearing to represent the budget, it had to be signed by the governor and not by the SSG. Well, those were the reasons why the Monday scheduled meeting was not held. And let's keep our fingers crossed. The governor of the state, while commissioning the project yesterday, said he's ready to represent the budget whenever they give instructions to the House of Assembly members. It's just been interesting. Mr. Adeyemi, this chief political editor of Guardian newspaper, and he's here with me on the show today. Mr. Adeyemi, it's a beautiful Thursday afternoon. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, good afternoon, first and foremost to our listeners. And good afternoon. I trust God you are doing good.
Yes, I'm doing well. Let me repeat this again. Anytime anyone asks me how I'm, doing, I tell them I'm an absolute reflection of the country I stay in. So if the country is doing well, I'm also doing well. So that question I always throw it back to the people. Mr. Adeyemi, they always say that 1 minute in politics is a long time. 1 hour, 24 hours, 1 month, a year. The last 3 weeks, it's been majorly about Malam Nasir El-Rufai, the coalition, or him decamping to the SDP. And well, the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, had also been having constant meetings, closed-door meetings with some of the people that have been vocal with the criticism of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Former President Obasanjo has, received in audience meetings, the conversations not made known to the public. But just about an hour ago, the former chief of staff to the late military head of state, late General Sani Abacha, that's Al-Mustafa, also announced his decision to join the SDP. Well, that bold move was opened by the former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai. And after then, we've seen the former minister of sports, Barrister Solomon Dalung, also joining the SDP. But let's quickly talk about this. I don't know, maybe it's coalition want to call it, or the SDP being the new bride. What is this giving you, Mr. Adeyemi, in terms of how the political conversation of 2027 will shape up?
Well, thank you very much, Okoyemi. We are beginning to see what is going to happen. But you are talking, I think, rightly of how some elements, political elements, especially from the north, are moving to SDP.
Mr. Adeyemi, please, can I beg you to move a bit closer to your phone? You're sounding a bit far, so we're struggling to hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Brilliant. Let's go on.
All right. So what the point I'm trying to make is that you are brilliantly made, I think, observation concerning what is going on in SDP, where we see some political elements from the north, I think, rushing to SDP now. And the coalition, of course, will involve Alæģ BP. I can confirm to a very greater extent to you that Alæģ BP from the southwest also may join them in that coalition. But in the rush to SDP. But the government has also rightly said that 1 hour is just too much in politics. But I'm talking to you, as I'm talking to you, Peter Obi, that we are expected to also join them in SDP, just concluded meeting with the Bauchi state governor, who also is the chairman of PDP Governors Forum. And today also, the PDP Governors Forum are also going to meet on the discussion So we don't know what is cooking, what is going on. That if Peter Obi wanted to go back to PDP, we cannot see. But if he's not thinking of going back, why is he meeting with PDP governors and why has he met for about 4 hours today with the chairman of PDP governors forum, who happens also to be the South State governor? No matter what, it's good for democracy. Let me start with it. Whether we like it or not, by May this year, Peter Obi is going to join that ﷺ and Co will concede the presidential ticket to him. So I think it still can be from the Southeast, ﷺ, Jonah bringing all his obedient movement, over 5 million people are stronger than what everything used to be. But when we are saying this, can anybody trust ﷺ? There is already a plea that Tinubu does not continue. This is that agenda, meaning that it can support anybody. But can you trust ﷺ? ﷺ, they will stand by it tomorrow. ﷺ is driven by self-interest, not by collective interest. So if Peter Obi will see all the major political parties join SDP and begin to see glimmer of hope that SDP is getting stronger, I can assure you that I think he may change his mind and begin to tell you, like Oja will say, based on popular demand, based on the demand of my people,
my
pressure from my people. My people said, I should be president in short. As my people said so, my people, how would I say no to my people? You understand? So the whole thing will change. So as it is, but the good thing that I said is that let us SDP. Let's have people join the SDP. Let's have people join in and try to rescue PDP from the precipice. Now, if that can happen, then we have to begin to say, give us hope for opposition parties in Nigeria. Because as it is now, at least nobody can talk of any opposition. If people say they are tired of APC government, or what are they doing? And to provide a credible opposition. So as it is, well, we're happy that we are seeing events happening, at least among the opposition politicians. But it's too early to say at least where and how they will anchor it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Adeyemi. I just want to ask that seems the logo of the party, the White Horse, everybody's posting it now. So the next couple of days will also give us an idea of what is really going to happen. So, Mr. Adeyemi, again, before we also, because we're really pressed for time, we have an agreement with you that I'm not going to, take you beyond a certain, to make it clear that the matter referred to the Committee on Ethics and Privileges has nothing to do with sexual harassment. He went on to say that the Senate President did not preside over any case related to such allegations. What was addressed was the flagrant disregards to the Senate rules and will follow due process as guided by the Constitution. He ended up, moving a vote of confidence on the leadership of Senator Godswill Akpabio. Let me play you that soundbite. When we come back, we'll talk about this briefly, and then we'll talk about Rivers State. The administration of His Excellency Governor Sim Fubara has had a lot to deal with in the last 18 months or thereabouts, from the demolition of the House of Assembly, from the alleged attack on the governor, from the meeting with the president earlier where some agreement was given to both parties to go and implement, the decision to present the 2025 appropriation bill to a 4-man House of Assembly member, the Supreme Court judgment. It's just been from one problem to the other for the governor. But let's play you what the majority leader on the House, that's Senator Cʀᴜɪsᴜ said in respect to passing a vote of confidence on the person of Senator Godswill Akpabio. Mr. Adeyemi, I'll keep you on the line so that you can listen also to the audio. Then you quickly comment on it. Then we'll go to Rivers State. Stick around with us.
All right.
Thing that will make Nigeria any worse than you may think she is right now. We have hope in this country, and we know that things will get better, things are getting better, and we'll continue to work, in overriding public interests to ensure that we move this country forward. We have heard you loud and clear, but we need to concentrate on our work. So if we do not debate this matter any longer, if we do not appear on media houses to discuss this matter, if we choose to just be silent on this matter and let, the court do their job and let, things just take their natural course, know that it is a deliberate decision on our part, it is intentional, and we are doing this in order that we do not get distracted. And we thank all those who have expressed concern, especially in the civil society. But in thanking you, we also beg you, in overriding public interest, that you please be objective in your analysis and that you also save energy for those
Okay, thank you very much. That was the voice of the majority leader of the Nigerian Senate 10th Assembly, the member representing Ekiti Central Senatorial District. He's been there since 2019. That's Senator Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele. Everyone calls him MOB. And Mr. Demi, let's talk about this real quickly. If I understand what passing vote of confidence means, it means there's already an issue of lack of confidence on that person. So if I'm passing a vote of confidence on you, it is because there are assumptions or there are perceptions that people lack confidence in your leadership. Now, all of these are mere allegations. What do you make of this vote of confidence conversation on the floor of the Senate today quickly?
Yeah, thank you very much, okay. I think last week before we left, I said specifically that we don't have the last about this matter.
True.
So, and because we said, if you could still remember, that the woman should ask, we need to pursue a matter to any level unless it will be seen as a blackmailer. So, and now the woman has gone beyond and we made it an international affair, which will cause a big shame to this country, whether we like it or not. And when they were talking what they said today that we are looking at, I'm saying something technical that if they were in court of law, where you can use technicality at times. I think let's say to Dabaru against that candidate a very clean and clear matter. Deliberately, Senate refused to accept and acknowledge a letter, at least to complain of this sexual harassment. She spoke about it on the floor of the House. And because she spoke on it on the floor of the House, and they said presenting this letter, they were telling us that the letter was not signed. And because the letter was not signed, but you must have read the letter before you know it was not signed. And then the second day, the lady brought another letter. That properly signed. You refuse to accept and acknowledge that letter. And the Oᴑᴜ is now having the audacity to come and insult Nigeria as if we are all illiterate. That Senate not aware of sexual harassment. But if our own Aɗɪ chamber is not aware of what has become an international affair, that has become, that all Nigerians have become a joke in the face of serious-minded people. So, but our Aɗɪ chamber is not aware, I think, what has caused Nigeria a problem in the face of people that matter in the world. But our people that we say are making laws for us are not aware. But it's only that Oᴑᴜ Bámidélé Oᴑᴜ Bámidélé not Oᴑᴜ Akíndé. It's only Oᴑᴜ Bámidélé chamber that seems not to aware this matter. But Nigerians are aware. And all their technical efforts, all their intelligence, all their political moves of subsuming this thing, not to be heard has been said. It's not what you can cover, you can treat like an aggression. Okay, I think you have found the thing because I know him personally. Because if I see him in question, it's the same thing I will tell you. That bros, you will have kept quiet. You understand? I think there is wisdom in this silence, the very difficult matter you cannot defend, than to add thought into the injury of most Nigerians. And why are you passing confidence on leadership? On Akpabio's leadership, there is still if something maybe alleged sexual harassment, that people didn't want the matter to be heard at all. Because what they are doing, they didn't want the matter to be heard. So they didn't want the woman to have opportunity of centering any evidence. They didn't want her to speak to the matter there. Because, as I said last week, the woman is experienced and age enough to understand the difference between making advancement or toasting in local balance and sexually harassing her. She old enough to know the difference. So if the woman is so categorical and went to IPU to go and raise the same allegation, and they are now saying they are not aware, and still they show us Nigerians, the minds of people that are making laws for us, their mind, how they think, how they reason. So, and if such elements are there and are making laws for us, so what should we complain about? Because a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. So you can see what from the depth of their being, the kind of human being they are. So when you begin to see certain laws that is immoral, that you begin to see that any restrained human being think of it, so begin to know the kind of people you have in power. And it's sort of fortunate that people begin to ask, how do you get to this level in Nigeria? That people have lost their moral compass, they have lost their moral consciousness. That people, instead of keeping quiet, they are passing vote of confidence in what? People forget the IPU matter. A matter is in court. So a matter has been in court in Nigeria, and the president is saying that the president is not aware of the matter that's in court. You know, that Akpabio went to the court want to go and prove the fidelity of our husband. And yes, and we are saying the Senate not aware. So that's what I'm saying. People will have kept quiet. So I think it is a disappointment. And which show that our leadership is good to make Nigeria to be overhauled. We should all look into the way we recruit our leaders. From councillors to local government chairmen, to right to governors, to Senate, to the president. No, we must look at it thoroughly. what kind of people are we electing? We as Nigerians. But these are the best we can get as people, then it speaks volume about we also as Nigerians. Because we are the people that are product, I think, of our election. Then we need to check ourselves that something is wrong with us. Not only the people we elected. It's quite unfortunate. You know what? Even if the international community that says, we will give a fair hearing. I see what? Yes, fair hearing that we won't tell anything now. We will also talk to them to know our position. And the for you now say you are passing vote of confidence in what? In who? Do you understand? So people will laughing at you. You have allowed the matter, the sitting jump to life. Let that thing continue. Let the court continue. And the people have said they have not refused to accept a letter. Do they want to treat the matter? They have kept quiet. I think I don't know whoever advised of Tᴏᴜᴛ to have done that. I think this advisor as part of what for her and for everything to be represented.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muiwa. I think the conversation that Senator Cʀᴜɪsᴜ has been making since this sexual harassment allegations started is, giving a lot of question. And saying that
Oᴑᴜᴜ is a lawyer.
Yes, he is.
Is a lawyer.
I know.
So it's now like a cancer to our body. He's asking, I'm telling you, he's asking as a cancer to our body. And if it's a cancer to our body on this matter, it's not good to continue to do anything that. I think he should excuse himself. Do you understand? So let him go and start defending Akpabio on this matter. Because all he has been doing is to defend Akpabio. So there's kind of insulting the sensibility of Nigerians. Please, let me continue.
Okay, before we quickly jump to Rivers, let me break this news. The House of Representatives today has approved the tax reforms bill. And so the VAT sharing formula goes this way. 50% to be distributed equally, 20% to be distributed based on population, and 30% to be distributed based on consumption. So the current 7.5% VAT remains, rate is also retained. The House amended the controversial inheritance tax clause, clarifying that any inheritance received before the dissolution cannot be subject to taxation. So we're waiting for the Senate to also put the House in order and deliberate on really, really important issues of national importance rather than, passing vote of confidence or vote of no confidence on individuals. So let's talk about Rivers State, Mr. DME. Development in Rivers had a lot of people questioning if we truly understand what democracy is about. From what the governor has done or is doing presently, to the body language and the reaction of the immediate past governor of the state, now the FCT minister. Also, the moves of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Remember, some months back, both parties, that's Wike and Fubara, were invited or summoned to the State House in Abuja, and it was being reported that certain conditions were given to Governor Fubara to go and implement so that peace, in quotes, can remain. Well, on the 28th of February. After the court had, unified all of the cases, gave the judgment that the House cannot pass debate bills or pass bills into law based on just 4 members. So that the governor would have to recognize the Right Honorable Martin Amoewili led House of Assembly. Remember, that's a faction of 27 members that are reportedly loyal to the immediate past governor. But they also came out to say that they've not decamped officially, that the process of decamping is very clear. You write a letter to your party that you're leaving. You also submit your membership of that party. Then you indicate what party you're crossing into. But hey, a lot of things that happened. Mr. Muiwa, we thought the invitation of the governor to a meeting on Monday was going to, be a direction for hope and peace in that state. But the meeting was boycotted by everyone involved on the basis of the fact that the letter was not properly written. Now, the governor appeared on the floor or at the House of Assembly yesterday, and the gate was locked. Members did not receive the governor. Does it look like there's going to be any hope in sight or for peace or reconciliation in that state? Yesterday, Barrister Cʀᴜɪsᴜ had a media parley, and it was very clear. He said there's nothing like peace in Rivers. That once you do the right things, once you do what the court says, once you do what the Constitution says, there is going to be peace. How did we get here, Mr. Adeyemi?
The truth is that if anybody is talking of peace or reconciliation or peace in Rivers State now, the federal state has to understand what's happening. In the sense that if you see how, if you recollect how this matter started, this matter started in the battle between Godfather and Godson. At the beginning of this program, when we started, I told you that the battle was too early for Father to begin. Because in politics, you must hold on to structures to fight political battle. Forget the noise of the Republicans. That's the noise of the public. Forget it. You public have done their own by on the day of election. Once you have voted, you have played your role. But how the politicians play their game as rules, as system, and you must understand it, whether you like it or not. Because when you want to start a battle politically, you look at the number of people you have in the House of Assembly. Number one, you look at the strength of your strength in the party structure. Do you know that the SSD and the governor of Benue State, they don't see eye to eye?
Yes.
and the governor of Benue State, that the Reverend Father, right? He knew that if he had to take the battle beyond what he's taking now, where it's going to reach another level. So he was matching up with Aᴅᴇ. I'm sure you are aware.
Yes.
Now, what people you always want to wait for is that you first and foremost begin to expose the executive of your Godfather to the members of the House of Assembly. To begin to have a substantial number of them that will stand by you, number one. Number two is that you wait for when you are going to have the Congress of your party. And you take your Godfather headlong to make sure people that are loyal to you become the party executive. Because whichever the party that will begin to speak as regards the position of the party in any level. So, our brother Kubra did not wait for all this. You are fighting a political battle when you can only vouch for 3 lawmakers losing 27. Number one, you have started a political battle when, secondly, the party structure is not in your hands. You are fighting a political battle when you saw your Godfather filling up with the federal might that will change the dynamics of our society. So on all fronts, that you can fight this battle, I don't see where Because no matter what the National Assembly or the Supreme Court will say, you still look at the essence law of the land. They can't do anything against it. Now, when you thought you have the power, you chase out and bomb and your people or wherever from somewhere from the National Assembly complex. Then you went to the residential quarters of this guy. You changed them. They went to a residential. And you denied them their salary, the allocation for the almost 1 year or thereabouts now. You have now resolved all these matters. And these are the people who wanted to go and live as if nothing happened yesterday. We know, let's be realistic. This something happened yesterday. What's supposed to be started is to first go and look for a serious reconciliation outside. You have seen your left now. You've seen the Supreme Court judgment. Or there are political solutions to all this matter. There should be credible Nigerians within and outside the country that we can lobby, that can speak and preside over genuine reconciliation of let's forget the past. That in the interest of the state, let's move forward. That did not happen, has not happened. So it's the same lawmakers that we chased out of their residential quarters. It's the same lawmakers that have not asked their salary for over a year. It's the same lawmakers that are just looking for a place to see where they are sitting. Is that a normal place for lawmakers to sit? And the same people you wanted to go and meet to present which budget to. My brother, I didn't know human beings because when we are talking at times, we can be sentimental. But let's be factual here. What's supposed to happen for is a genuine reconciliation. You are a governor. You are not a politician, whether you like it or not. Look for people, credible people. Look for people. If only the president and can go across states. If you know some credible Nigerians, people live anywhere in the world that you know that have influence in getting the reconciliation. What are supposed to reconcile with these people for the interest of peace in the state? Then that's where we now begin to talk. Because the path they are taking now is an express way to impeachment. And the people are saying, impeach him and we burn down the state. No problem. Nobody will want that one. And I personally do not want the man to be impeached. Someone that cannot say me go now, yes, we must do. So we can't just go to that, go and meet the Supreme Court, go to Supreme Court and say, unless two people agree. And when you refuse to acknowledge someone's letter, you now reply to such letter. And if you are going to reply to this time and date for the meeting, you now say you are going there to go and present a budget. Is that how they present budget everywhere? Before budget is being presented, there must have been conference meeting here and there. Can people hold conference meeting with PDP in that place now? So those are the problem. You cannot just be speaking like a layman, looking superficially on that people wanted him. People don't have, people have done their own role. Their own role is to let them be elected in food. But they've not gone out with me. So we are talking of politics and government now. Politics and governance. Politics and governance. They go together. They are always meeting at night because they have to pay the life meeting. There must have been agreement. So what I see is the assembly will move forward. After this project, you You can see the issue with the River State Independent Electoral Commission chairman, the level they have reached. I can assure you that they will be clear all the commissioners from Glasgow anywhere from now. Right? Because we tell you we are not approved, they don't know them. They've never taken a bow before
in front of us.
So, what Kubola will continue with the people and it will continue to flex muscle. If they refuse to go out for people for serious reconciliation, they will continue to flex muscle. And these people, I can assure you, they will go on with the impeachment process. It's a matter of weeks. And the moment they started the impeachment process, the they have no reason but to constitute a panel of so-called credible people
to look into the allegations.
To look at the allegations. And by the time they begin to talk of these infractions of the budget not passed, of the lawmakers not approved, or the money they are spending not appropriated or not passed, no, by the time they begin all this nonsense, they won't be seen in that state. And if they are so clear in that state, who is talking of development? And the state, the more we continue with this matter, it will begin to create bigger problems. You can see how UK in the characteristic manner over time speaking without thinking, condemning the whole nation. Why are you bringing the whole nation and condemning the whole nation? Presenting the nation as minute in River State, when all the literature makers will understand that that's the largest ethnic group in Nigeria. But the point I'm trying to make is that the more you start this matter, the more you begin to steer unnecessary controversy. The more it will be difficult to resolve the kind of decision with a genuine reconciliation. The implementation of Supreme Court documents can come with a win-win solution for both parties. With the genuine reconciliation. We are talking of politics. We are talking of interest. But without that reconciliation, I don't see, and I don't see implementation of that judgment without blood and tears. And attend that problem to the economy of the country. You can see the choice that when the INC, when the IJ, the journalism group, we will stop our production in this Nigeria. And we can tell them we will not have the monopoly of power. So, but this is going to be free for all. When they go to the creeks and the locals in Bacchus, you run away from anything. You would not want the blood of any innocent river man to be sheltered on this matter.
But Mr. Diemi, you talked about reconciliation, which a lot of people had also pushed forward long before now. But I want to ask you, before we leave this conversation, and before I let you go as well, if you say reconciliation, would that be a political decision, or you think it's about, let everyone just swallow their pride? Because all of the things that, Barrister Cʀᴜɪsᴜ said yesterday were clear indicators that he's not ready to listen to anybody. He's not ready to probably get into the conversation.
You know what? We can having Supreme Court judgment favoring it. Before, Kubola was speaking as a governor that has power. Right? But the power is now with Wike. To the judgment. What there's something to say? We have a judgment. We have to provide court. We have to appeal.
The highest court in the land.
in acting only a difficult judgment, do you expect me now to be speaking from position of weakness? No. He's in charge now. He's in charge. Because there's a judgment. And you will see the speed at which those lawmakers will be going so forth in teaching him. In teaching people that it's because of the accelerated process. Because to them, they voted for too long. And they're not to people. By the time they want to, they will pick it as the capital speaker. It was not to the other speaker. I'm not going to have anything in terms of the governor of that state. Because remove the governor and the deputy governor.
Amewele is the governor in waiting.
He is already been in charge as the governor of that place. And it's nothing towards that direction. What are you saying? So, it's going to be a serious crisis. But whoever has done well by having people in his support, but having a function in his support. Okay, I was telling you the other time. We say in one hand was having PDP, on the other side was having APC. We all saw the lawmakers said they became to APC. But when they go to the court, the APC government, the APC chairman said, well, they are not my member. And the PDP recognized chairman said, well, they are still bona fide member of my party. So go and bring all the video clips you have. Go and bring all the voice, whatever you have. These are the things that will speak in court. These are the problems we have with the judiciary. And with our the constitution. So, who wants to understand that it's playing a politics, not a civil service politics. We are talking of real politics. Yes, and quite unfortunate. So the only way out for him is a reconciliation. He has to send that open apology to the lawmakers that my brother has wronged you. For my day, yes, we are together.
Can a sitting governor do that, Mr. DME? A sitting governor with all of the power and authorities.
Which power? Is it not human being? Is it not human being? What are you saying? No, what are you saying? What's wrong? Please, it's a strike of power. For you to apologize. That my brother, we have played the politics, we have seen it, we are all together. All the allowance we are owing before, as you say. All the you're supposed to get the Lawmakers.
I go give you
2025 SCB and with the back that will not find video.
They go compose song for now.
So you are going to develop your benefit. All your allowances, don't worry, you will do it. Your controlling project, you have it. Your this or that, you have it. Let's talk. Don't understand. Forget another thing. But no, even let's forget the politics of 2027. But for the peace of our people, let's come together. Let's send people that matter to who are saying, okay, if you can get some people to meet the president, and the president should tell them, say, hold on, because this crisis. Hold on. The man will apply this. He will apply this. But you can have the constitution with law behind you, and you have seen the judgment now. So you have to change your tactics. Are we not one thing? Yes. If I thought I could defeat you, and I thought that no, you're not going to defeat you, and what's wrong with your friend? I'm sorry, you are brothers now. But you continue to fight. And you come back now, we see elderly with balance, elder person, you have a style. Anyway, it shows strength, not weakness. Unless there is danger everywhere, not only in Rivers State, in Nigeria.
Mr. Muyiwa, thank you very much for being a part of the show today, because I promised I was going to let you go by 5. But let me ask you one straight question. If you happen to be Governor Sim Fubara as we speak, what would you rather do? Now, let me paint this. He conducted the local government, or let me say, Rivers State Independent Electoral RISIEC, like they call it, conducted the local government election. And about 72 hours to the election, the governor instructed that all the PDP candidates should move to APP. So they contested the election on the platform of the APP and they won. So now that local government election had been declared null and void by the court, I'm saying this, if you happen to be Governor Fubara, or Governor Fubara is giving you his options and advise him to choose, would you tell him to go to the APP? Would you tell him to stay in the PDP and fight, especially knowing that next year is going to be the primaries of the governorship election in the state? And Wike is still in the PDP, and it looks like he's not going anywhere. What would you rather advise the governor to do? Leave the PDP and go to APP, remain in the PDP, or cross to the ruling party, the All Progressive Congress? Since Barrister Wike has said he's not a member of the APC, what would you advise the governor to do?
To me, for the governor, it's too early for thinking of that one. Because PDP and the chief is not the control of PDP University. And the more Wike is still in charge of PDP, even in Nigeria today, he has not allowed that happen to settle down. So, if it is fortunate that what's happening politically now, those guys can have the temerity, the audacity of extending Wike from that party. Fine. If not, you should just begin to look at the matter and solve the problem as they come. 24 hours is too long in politics. So we don't know what will happen in PDP in the next 2-3 years. Let him first go and settle with the matter of the local government. This is a big problem for you. This problem says that remember that this led state assembly have reviewed the local government laws, and those how elections can be conducted. But in same ignorance without recognizing it, they recognize the old one by its own recognized assembly. So they have no choice now than to recognize the local government law as reviewed and as passed by led assembly. The only one recognized now. You know that when they refuse to fight that law, they veto it. They veto it. So, but we need the election to conduct a 3-year election under that new law. That's the problem. Now, if you were to contest another election, and the PDP will now pick candidates before this assembly in charge, with the police security in charge, would that be crisis in that place? So that's why I said the first step is for him to eat the humble part. Look for people that can be involved in the new reconciliation, give and take. Let that happen as a first step to enjoy governance. When you say to enjoy it, without that one, okay, the next 2 months, I hope we'll be able to sit down like this and review the back 6 months. In the next 2 months.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I remember about a year ago, you said this clearly, that Governor Fubara should choose the battle he's going to fight, that he's not settled and is not politically experienced enough to go into this battle. And it's just been from one problem to the other. Local government issue, State House of Assembly issue, release of allocation, the Wike problem. It's just been from one issue to the other. Hopefully, the governor will find a balance, and the people of Rivers State would not continue to suffer this way. Mr. Adeyemi, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. And we're hoping that by the end of the month, you will be able to make the major announcements on this platform. Thank you very much, Mr. Adeyemi. Thank you very much. Okay, that was Mr. Muyiwa Adeyemi, the chief political editor of Guardian newspaper. We're always doing this together every Thursday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. So you have to keep your fingers crossed. And I would always give you all of these detailed analysis on how everything should go. We quickly touch 3 issues on the show today. First off, the announcement of one of the founding members of the All Progressive Congress, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, saying that he's resigned his membership of the ruling APC, citing lack of internal democracy. And he also said that the APC had left him behind and that he had also left the APC. He's going to join the new bride that everyone is courting and talking about right now, which is the Social Democratic Party. Build up to the 2023 election, it was the Labour Party that just came out of political, wilderness, and then they stole the show, presenting a governor, some senators, some reps members, and even some State House of Assembly members. Now, it looked like the SDP. And don't forget, 2 senators from Nasarawa State are actually members of the SDP. Remember, when the issue with Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State happened, some of the people holding the senatorial tickets now aspired for the post of governor on the platform of the APC in Nasarawa State. But there were allegations that the primaries was not fairly conducted and that he favored the incumbent governor, that's Governor Abdullahi Sule. He's also is running his second time right now. So this aspirant left the APC and they went to join the SDP and contested for Senate on the platform of the SDP, and they won. So as we speak today, 3 senators from Nasarawa State, only one is from the APC, the other 2 are from the SDP. So it's not like the SDP don't have, 1 or 2 voices up there, especially now, let me put it in footballing terms, with the acquisition of Malam Nasir El-Rufai. We don't know if it's a loan deal or it's a permanent move. The next couple of days will give us a better understanding. We also talked about the issue of the majority leader of the Senate, Senator Cʀᴜɪmi Bamidele, representing the Ekiti Central Senatorial District, saying that the House Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Complaints did not receive any complaint of sexual harassment. Interesting, right? Okay. He also led his other colleagues to pass a vote of confidence on the leadership of distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio. And he led me to start asking the question, if there are no signs of lack of confidence in someone, why would there be a need to pass a vote of confidence on that person? Time would also tell. And then we looked at the issue of Rivers State. It's been boiling from the day the governor got sworn in, and it's been from one problem to the other. If he's not dealing with his predecessor today, which is Wike, he's dealing with the State House of Assembly, 27 members, courts today, courts tomorrow. He's dealing with local government issues. The election was dissolved. An arrest warrant was issued on the chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission. So much more for Rivers. But let me pick your calls and I'll also read your message. 0913-600-0410. That's the number to call. We're streaming live on Facebook at facebook.com/Mainland 98.3 FM. You can also go on YouTube to drop your comment. I'll read all of them. It's the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM. And my guest was Mr. Muyiwa Adeyemi, the chief political editor of Guardian newspaper. Now you can join the conversation. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Dr.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I like this about it. Yes, in fact, let me just appreciate your guest. You see, it is good to say the truth. If you say the truth, we will die. If you don't say the truth, we will die. So it's better you say the truth. You understand? You see, I'm so disappointed with the action of Ubara. I want to ask you one terminology of all these politicians. Do you remember that terminology they always said? Do you remember? If you remember, say it.
I mean, that a lot of terminologies they say.
All right. Let me remind you. Politicians always say no permanent enemy in politics.
It's just permanent interest.
Permanent interest. As simple as that. You see, Fubara is not a politician. And it's unfortunate. We didn't even hear his name. His wicked that brought him alive. You see, a politician does not behave that way. You understand? The way it's recruited or voted for, the same thing, the way the state assembly members are voted for. Everybody has his own relevancy. You see, look, the way it shows that, he's taking the governorship as a family heritage. It's no. Governorship is family, soldier go, soldier come. He's not the only one that is there. He will do his own time, even if he's there, he will go. But he cannot destroy the river state. But you see, it's so glaring the way it's messing up the so-called, the members of the state assembly. It's not done that way. It's not.
Thank you.
So I'm so disappointed.
Thank you very much. Let's make it brief so that we don't need to, cut ourselves off at the conversation. 1 minute for everybody. Hello, good evening, Mr. Laiwola.
Hello, good
You're
evening.
welcome.
Yeah. You see the issue on ground. Is the day the governor gets it wrong, is the day that he writes the letter of recommendation to the House. That among of the leader of the House did not have a single one that is loyal to him. All the leader was selected by his godfather. And the second part of it, we are talking about the Benue State. When they want to inaugurate in the House of Assembly, the governor monitor it. Even the candidate that are anointed by George Akume did not win the speaker. That is where the governor got upper hand more than George Akume. And that is why he's ruling the government. He's ruling it with a confidence because he has a little majority in the House. And this is where this governor gets it wrong. And he also, I think very soon, because all the commissioners cannot even come and appear before the State House in terms of the budget presentation, possibility that is where the impeachment will come up. And I hope we get the impeachment very soon. Because I already missed it from the beginning.
I mean, you're literally praying for a governor to be impeached. Well, hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Nakpaolu.
You're welcome.
Julius is my name. I'm calling from Shomodo.
Mr. Julius, good to have you on the show today.
Yeah, sir. See, the issue is that this House of Assembly we are talking about publicly they declare themselves vacant because they said they are no more part of PDP openly, and they said they are for APC. So the only issue I have with everything that your guest has spoken about is that it not pay their salary. How can you pay somebody that is not in the office that have been declared vacant, that is said they are no more part of the PDP? How will you pay their salary? You understand? Yes. How will you pay their salary? And this
because
is the only
you have to work before you get paid.
They have to work before they get paid. And that is the only area I'm not agreeing with everything your guest has spoken. He has spoken very well. He has analyzed everything and put everything in order. But on that area that is not paying their salary, that should be like, no, they will not receive salary because they are not working at that moment. And they have declared themselves out of PDP to APC. And the law says, if you have moved away from PDP to APC, you will lose your seat. So this is the area. So let's make everything perfect.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I really, really appreciate your contribution. Well, ᴘᴏᴛ Samson says, good evening, Okwa the guests. The lawmakers started with ultimatum showing they were not ready for peace. They are taking directive from Wiki. I'm not even sure the members will deny that. But thank you. Good evening. Kudos to your guest. Good evening, General Kwemi. Okay. Thank you. To Mr. Adeyemi for great work of analysis. Let me summarize it this way. Let all the parties involved in the power tussle know that and understand that power only belongs to God and not to the court. We should all give peace a chance. The president, the FCT minister, Fubara, Martin Emewule, and the few elders on the River State should sit together, bury their ego, and look for the way forward. There should no more be crisis. Thank you very much for sending your message. Pastor Ambrose.
Good evening.
You're welcome.
Do you know that Fubara is not a politician? Do you know why I said so?
Please talk to us about it.
Between the period that this matter was in court, if he's a good politician, he would have looked for ways to woo some of those members. Throughout the 2 years, there is no way he would not have been able to woo them. I am not saying he's guilty, but he would have been able to play politics. Look for some people that can woo some of those members to his side. How can you, for the whole period, you could not even win at least 10 out of this 27?
And that would probably have changed the dynamics of this conversation.
I am telling you, that's just where I blame him, because he didn't act as a politician. But for every other thing, I can't blame him, but he didn't play politics. And that's why he's where he is now. So, like we have always been saying, they are not fighting for my interest, but I just see Wike trying to still govern River State, which to me is not proper.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Thank you very much, Pastor Ambrose, for always joining us on the show. On Facebook, James Cʀᴜɪsᴇ, I'm sorry if that didn't come out well. He says, good evening. All these shenanigans unfolding anomalies in River State because Mr. President was supporting Wike. I pray that God send help to Fubara and overcome these people. Those supporting all this evil today should remember that tomorrow they may find themselves in this situation. James from Agbado Junction. Okay. Ifeoma Francis says, President Tinubu cannot settle the rift in his state and continue to blow the ember of war in River State. The president should call all the River State Assembly members to Aso Villa as he did with Lagos Assembly members and settle them since they are seeking for peace. Wike should not be in the arena of the settlement because he is a spoiler. Okay. Eddie Gatt says, okay, I would respond to your concerns. Mr. Eddie, thank you very much. I got your message. I'll respond real quick. Kszoli says, where were you when the Agbèròs prevented Nigerians from voting because they are going to vote for a particular candidate? Where were you when voters were thrown away, where votes of people were thrown away and found inside the bush, so that people who fast for 3 days, who don't drink water? Okay, Kszoli. Reverend Solomon Jason Somi says, no amount of political gathering can prevent President Tinubu from governing this country for his complete 8 years. Okay, John Bernardo, he says, 2027 will be very interesting. Tinubu will not find it easy in the Northwest. Truth be told. The Austin says, what if the Supreme Court judgment was in favor of Governor Fubara and his group? What would have been the fate of Wike and his group? How do you think Governor Fubara will have treated Wike and his group? John Bernardo, he says, our Senate leader, Okoyemi Bamidele, said he's not aware of any sexual harassment petition. That is shameful. Okay. Benjamin is on Facebook says, what you see El-Rufai do is to prove to the APC that he's not the type of politician that can be used and dumped. He's not a politician that you can push away just like that. To say El-Rufai played a major role in the President Tinubu becoming a president, more than these politicians that are enjoying the presidency of Tinubu today. Okay. Case Oli says, okay, you are alleging that my station is an APC radio. Interesting. You went on to say that lawmakers who resigned or defected to another party, what did the law say? When you defect to the other party that gave you power, you automatically lose your seat. Okay. The impeachment of a governor constitutionally is not an easy task, particularly for Rivers State. First and foremost, what is the disposition of the chief judge? I can assure you, without cooperation of the chief judge, impeachment process will be effort in futility. Can Nigeria curtail the crisis that will spring out from the whole Niger Delta and security challenges in the Northeast? That is John Esson, all the way from Canada. Ifeoma Francis says that is if God gives him life. Well, you're responding to Reverend Solomon Jason Somi's position that the president will win his second term. Okay. Okay, let's pick more calls. C쏘ᴏ is throwing some shades to me on Facebook, and I'm seeing them. Hello, good evening. Hello. Oh, God's a bit late. Hello. Okay. The first caller is a typical Yoruba man. Let him join them and destroy the country. That is from C쏘ᴏ. Fubara that went to free rivers, but your first caller wants Nigeria rivers to continue. Okay. Let me talk to you, Y:WALOYE. Hello.
Good evening.
You're welcome. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank God for the analyst you brought in today. He spoke very well. I was touched with his analysis. Now, I think Fubara got it wrong from the word "get go." Now, like your analyst has rightly said, and again, even if those lawmakers have truly defected to the 83, does Fubara have that sole right to declare their seats vacant? They should have gone to the court and allowed the court to declare their seats vacant. He does not have that power. Look at what has happened. Thank you very much. I think he needs to toe the path of peace.
Thank you.
Whether he likes it or not. If he doesn't want to be impeached.
Thank you very much, Mr. Y:WALOYE. Last week Wednesday, so I was, reading up on what is involved in impeaching a governor. It's a long process. But like one of the messages said, that the Chief Justice of the state would have to be on the side of the people that are making move for the impeachment. Well, that's about the size of the package. Tomorrow is Friday, so we'll have a town hall meeting where we review all of the things we've discussed this week. We started this week with a conversation with the Executive Director of the Civil Liberty Organizations in Nigeria, Comrade Steve Aluko, and it's been back-to-back conversation. We make it real good. Thank you very much. My name is ᴑᴏᴛ Cʀᴜɪsᴇ. It's the Situation Room live from Mainland 98.3 FM. Next up is the Sunset News by 5:30, and by 6 o'clock we'll come give you the conversation that has to do with sports and sports crews. Arsenal will be playing Real Madrid both in the male and female UEFA Champions League at the same stage of the competition, the quarterfinal. We'll talk about all of that by 6 o'clock. But don't forget to always keep your dialogue on Mainland 98.3 FM, and more than anything else, keep yourself absolutely hydrated. Have a beautiful evening, and bye for now.
Fantastic conversations.
Great to see you again. It's good weather. You want to agree with that?
Yeah, I love weather. Trending music. Traffic updates.
Ojoba and Charity intersections is good. There's no cause for alarm.
Sports. And everything fun is right here on Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch.